Welcome, everybody. Thanks for gathering around the virtual telescope with me as we get into our news for the week. This is News Roundup number 2. Some gas giants reject being swallowed or eaten or destroyed by their expanding red giant stars. So one of the most dramatic phases in a red star's life comes when it swells into a red giant, growing hundreds of times larger than it was during its earlier life. For years, astronomers have wondered what happens to the gas giant planets that orbit these aging stars. Do they survive the chaos, or are they ultimately destroyed? A new study, and I have it linked if you go to Easy Astronomy, you can get to the actual paper, suggests the answer is sobering, very sobering. Most gas giants simply don't make it. As stars evolve into red giants and later shed their outer layers, intense tidal forces, expanding stellar envelopes, and mass loss winds combine to destabilize nearby planetary systems. The research indicates that only a very small fraction, likely less than about 3%, of white dwarf stars end up with surviving planetary companions, meaning the majority of these worlds are either engulfed or torn apart during the star's later evolutionary stages. If a white dwarf has remaining planets, 95% of those planets are gas giants, confirming that inner planets are usually consumed by the expanding red giant star during that phase of the star's life. Interesting. Survival appears to depend strongly on the original mass of the star and the distance of the planet's orbit. Systems formed from lower mass stars seem to give planets a slightly better chance, especially when planets orbit far enough away to avoid the expanding stellar atmosphere. Even then, survival is still rare, highlighting just how violent the red giant transition can be for planetary systems. These findings also give us a glimpse into the distant future of our own solar system. Billions of years from now, when the sun expands into a red giant, the inner planets will almost certainly be consumed, and even the outer giants may face significant orbital disruption. Some distant worlds could survive, but the odds suggest that many planetary systems across the galaxy and even in our solar system are dramatically reshaped, partially destroyed, or as their parent stars grow into those red giants. For observers and planetary scientists alike, this research is a reminder that solar systems are not permanent arrangements. Over cosmic time, even seemingly stable planetary families can be rewritten by evolving life cycles of their stars. It just goes to show you everything changes. The only constant in the universe is change. So we have to be comfortable with change and be able to adapt with that change. Thanks for joining me. We look forward to seeing you next time, and have a wonderful day, and I hope you have clear skies where you're at. Catch you next time.